The moment everything changed. When just sign feels like a trap, just sign. Two simple words. But sometimes those two words carry the weight of your entire future. Have you ever been rushed into something? Have you ever felt that pressure where everyone is looking at you, waiting, expecting, pushing? The pen is in your hand, the paper is in front of you, and someone says, it's nothing. Just sign. Let me tell you something. Urgency is not always truth. Speed is not always safety. Many people lose money, lose peace, lose relationships because they signed something they did not fully understand. A loan paper, a business deal, a promise they were not ready to keep. It happens every day. Not because people are foolish, but because they are rushed. Pressure hides danger. When someone pushes you to decide quickly, ask yourself why. If it's safe, it can wait. If it's honest, it can be explained. If you don't control the moment will control you. The weight of silence in a critical moment. Now think about this. Why do we stay silent when something feels wrong? Why does our voice become small when it should be strong? You feel it inside. That tight feeling in your chest. That small doubt whispering, wait, something is not right. But you look around. Everyone seems calm. Everyone seems sure. And you begin to doubt yourself. You tell yourself, maybe I'm overthinking. You tell yourself, maybe I should just trust them. You tell yourself, I don't want to cause trouble. And so you stay quiet. But silence has weight. Silence can cost you. How many people stayed silent and later said, I knew it. I knew something was wrong. Students who chose the wrong career because they were afraid to speak. Workers who signed contracts they didn't understand because they didn't want to look foolish. Parents who gave in because they didn't want conflict. Your voice matters most in the moments when it feels hardest to use. If you shrink in that moment, you teach others that your boundaries are flexible. One question that changes everything. Sometimes the biggest change begins with one simple question. What exactly am I signing? That's it. One pause. One breath. One decision to slow down. Imagine if more people asked one more question before agreeing. How many problems would be avoided? How many regrets would disappear? A famous investor once said he never rushes into deals. He reads, he asks, he waits, and that patience made him successful. Not luck, not speed, careful thought. When you pause, you create space, and in that space, you find clarity. When you read carefully, you respect yourself. When you refuse to rush, you send a message. My future is worth time. Ask yourself right now, when was the last time you truly paused before reacting, before saying yes, before giving your word? One question can protect years of your life. A small pause can save a lifetime. Here's the lesson. Pressure is not proof. Just because someone is urgent does not mean they're right. Urgency is not authority. Loud voices are not always wises. Awareness is power. A small pause can save you from a big mistake. A deep breath can protect your future. A simple wait can change everything. Think about driving a car. If you see a red light and you ignore it because you are in a hurry, what happens? Speed does not protect you, attention does. Life works the same way. Slow down. Look carefully. Understand fully. Because sometimes the difference between regret and peace is just one moment of awareness. And that moment can change everything. The silent pressure when family becomes force. When love starts to feel like control, family can be a blessing. Family can also become pressure. There is a thin line between care and control. At first, it sounds loving. We just want what's best for you. Trust us. We know better, and maybe they do care. Maybe their heart is in the right place, but let me tell you something. Care guides. Control pushes, care explains, control demands. When love starts removing your choice, it slowly turns into force. And many people accept that force because it comes wrapped in affection. A young student wants to study art. The family says, no, be a doctor. They say it is for security. They say it is for respect. But years later, that student feels empty. Not because the job is bad, but because the choice was never theirs. Pressure from family does not automatically mean protection. Real protection teaches you how to think, not what to think. If someone truly cares about you, they will allow you to breathe. They will allow you to question. They will allow you to decide. Love should not feel like a cage. Guilt, the quiet weapon that bends your will, guilt is powerful. It doesn't shout. It whispers, after everything we've done for you, is this how you repay us? Don't you trust your own family? And suddenly, your confidence becomes weak. Why do we say yes when our heart is screaming no? Because we don't want to hurt anyone? Because we don't want to look ungrateful? Because we fear being seen as selfish? But listen carefully. Gratitude does not mean surrender. Guilt is often used to rush decisions. It makes you feel like you owe something immediately. It turns love into debt. And when you feel in debt, you stop thinking clearly. A friend once agreed to invest money in a family business even though he had doubts. He felt guilty saying no. The business failed. The money was gone. The guilt did not protect him. It only silenced him. If your heart is screaming no, pause. That voice is not your enemy. It is your warning system. Do not let guilt bend your will. Boundaries are not disrespect. They are self-respect. Many people believe that saying no to family is disrespect. It is not. Boundaries are not walls to push people away. They are lines that protect what matters. If you don't protect your boundaries, even the closest people can cross them. Not always because they are evil. Sometimes because you never told them where the line was. Trust does not mean blind surrender. Trust does not mean signing without reading. Trust does not mean agreeing without understanding. If someone truly respects you, they will respect your pause. Saying, I need time to think, is not rebellion. It is maturity. Saying, I'm not comfortable with this, is not betrayal. It is honesty. You teach people how to treat you. If you always give in, they will always push. Slow pressure breaks strong people. Pressure is not always loud. Sometimes it is slow. Constant, quiet, like water falling on stone. At first, nothing happens. The stone looks strong, solid, unbreakable. But over time, that water creates cracks. Slow pressure breaks strong people, not in one moment, but little by little. Just this once. Don't make it a big deal. It's for the family. And each time you ignore your inner voice, a small piece of you weakens. Remember this clearly. Just because they're family doesn't mean they're right. Just because they insist doesn't mean you must agree. Strength is not saying yes to keep peace. Strength is standing firm even when the pressure is familiar. Do not let slow pressure reshape your life. The power of a pause, the cashier who read the note, one person who refused to rush. Sometimes it takes one person to break the chain, one person who says, wait, one person who slows down when everyone else is speeding up. That pause can stop a disaster. Think about a referee in a game. One whistle can stop a fight. One signal can prevent harm. In life, we all meet moments like that. Moments where someone, or even ourselves, refuses to rush. When you slow down, you interrupt mistakes before they grow. Regret often moves fast. Wisdom moves slow. That single pause can protect savings. It can protect trust. It can protect dignity. Never underestimate the power of slowing down. Attention is protection. Attention is protection. When you truly look, you see details others miss. Imagine crossing a busy road while staring at your phone. You are walking, but you are not aware. That is how many people move through life, active but not alert. Careful observation is like a shield. It protects you from hidden traps. Reading carefully, listening closely, asking clearly. These simple actions build safety around your decisions. If you look closely before stepping forward, you avoid falling into holes you didn't see. Awareness may seem small, but it is powerful. Read before you react. Let me be direct. If you don't read what you sign away your power. If you don't understand what you accept the consequences blindly. Too many people react before they think. They answer before they understand. They agree before they question. Slow down. Read before you react. Ask before you agree. A job offer looks exciting. The salary is high. But hidden in the contract are terms that limit your freedom. If you rush, you pay later. Your future deserves careful thought. Wisdom doesn't shout. It notices wisdom is not always loud. It does not always come with big speeches. Sometimes wisdom is quiet. The missing information. When was the last time you truly read before you reacted? When was the last time you chose calm over speed? Real strength is not in reacting quickly. It is in observing deeply. Wisdom does not shout. It notices. Signatures and surrender. What are you really signing away? A signature is more than ink. It is identity. A signature is not just ink on paper. It is your name. And your name carries your identity. When you sign something, you are not just agreeing to words. You are attaching your future to them. You are saying, I stand behind this. That is serious. But life is not only about paper. Every time you say yes to something that goes against your values, you are signing. Every time you stay silent when you should speak, you are signing. Every time you accept less than you deserve, you are signing. Your signature is your stamp of approval on your own life. Think about it. Would you sign a blank sheet of paper and hand it to someone? Of course not. Then why do we sometimes give blank permission to others to decide for us? Your name means something. Protect it. Because once your name is attached to a choice, you live with that choice. The invisible contracts you accept every day. Not all contracts are written. Some are invisible. When you accept disrespect to avoid conflict, you sign an invisible contract that says, this is okay. When you give up your dream because someone laughs at it, you sign an invisible contract that says, my dream does not matter. Are you signing away your dreams for temporary peace? Are you signing away your standards because it is easier than standing alone? Are you signing away your future because you don't want to disappoint someone today? These invisible agreements shape your life more than any legal document. A person who stays in a toxic job just to keep everyone happy signs an invisible contract of silence. Years later, they feel stuck. Not because they had no options, but because they kept agreeing to something that hurt them. Be careful what you accept quietly. It becomes your reality loudly. Short-term silence, long-term regret. Silence feels safe in the moment. You avoid argument. You avoid tension. You avoid uncomfortable looks. But what happens later? Short-term silence can cost long-term freedom. If you stay quiet when something is unfair, that unfairness grows. If you stay quiet when your values are ignored, those values slowly disappear. Think of a small crack in a wall. If you ignore it because fixing it feels like work, one day that crack becomes damage you cannot hide. Comfort now can create regret later. Many people look back and say, I should have spoken up. Rarely does someone say, I wish I had stayed silent when it mattered. Do not trade your future peace for present comfort. Temporary comfort is cheap. Long-term freedom is priceless. Your signature is a key. Some doors never reopen. Your signature is a key. When you turn a key, a door opens. But sometimes another door closes. Some choices cannot be undone easily. Some agreements change your direction completely. If you agree to something that limits your freedom, you may find doors locked later. Opportunities lost. Trust broken. Options reduced. Think before you turn the key. A student who drops out of school in anger may later regret it. A business partner who signs without reading may lose ownership. A person who agrees to something illegal out of pressure may face years of struggle. Once the key turns, some doors never reopen. That does not mean you should live in fear. It means you should live with awareness. Turn the key only when you understand what door you are opening. The 3 commands before commitment. Before you agree to anything important, remember 3 commands. Think before you sign. Pause before you agree. Question before you commit. These are simple words, but they protect your future. Thinking gives you clarity. Pausing gives you control. Questioning gives you power. Do not let anyone make you feel weak for asking questions. Questions are not disrespect, they are wisdom. Let me say it again. Think before you sign. Pause before you agree. Question before you commit. Make this your rule. Make this your habit. Make this your shield. Because your life deserves careful decisions. Strength is not speed, it is control. In a world that moves fast, people think quick decisions mean strength. They don't. Strength is control. It takes more courage to say, I need time, than to say, okay, anyone can rush. It takes discipline to pause. You do not owe anyone instant agreement. You do not owe anyone immediate answers about your future, your money, your dreams. When you delay a decision to understand it better, you are not weak. You are wise. Look at successful leaders. They do not react to every situation instantly. They gather facts. They listen. They reflect. Speed can impress people for a moment. Control protects you for a lifetime. If you control your pace, you control your direction. The fear of awkwardness is costing you too much. Why are we afraid of awkward silence? Why are we afraid of someone frowning at us? Why are we afraid of disappointing others, but not afraid of disappointing ourselves? Temporary discomfort feels scary, but permanent damage is worse. Saying no may create tension for a few minutes. Saying yes to something wrong may create pain for years. A person who agrees to a bad deal to avoid an uncomfortable conversation may spend years fixing that mistake. Ask yourself honestly, is avoiding awkwardness worth risking your future? Most of the time, the answer is no. Do not let fear of a moment steal years from you. Your voice is a muscle. Use it. Your voice is like a muscle. If you never use it, it becomes weak. The first time you speak up, your hands may shake. Your heart may race. That is normal. But the more you use your voice, the stronger it becomes. Start small. Practice saying, I'm not comfortable with that. Practice saying, I need more information. Practice saying no. Each time you do, your confidence grows. A child learns to walk by falling. You learn to speak firmly by trying. Trust yourself. Your inner voice is there for a reason. Do not silence it. Train it. Strengthen it. Use it. Stand up. Speak clearly. Protect what is yours. There comes a moment when you must stand up, not with anger, not with pride, but with clarity. Stand up for your values. Speak clearly about your limits. Protect what is yours, your time, your money, your name, your future. No one will guard your life better than you. If you hesitate, others will move ahead of you. Stand up. Speak clearly. Protect what is yours. Because in the end, you are the one who lives with your choices. Choose them wisely. Awareness is wealth, not just money in the bank. 1. Wealth is not just what you hold. It's what you understand. Many people think wealth is only money, a big house, a large bank balance. But let me tell you something. Wealth is not just what you hold. It is what you understand. A person can have millions and still be confused, easily misled, easily pressured. Another person may have less money, but strong clarity, clear boundaries, and sharp thinking. Who is truly richer? True wealth is knowing when to say yes and when to say no. True wealth is understanding what you are signing. True wealth is having the wisdom to pause. Your value only by numbers. Measure it by how clearly you think and how firmly you stand. That is real wealth. Strong mind versus full wallet. A full wallet looks impressive. A strong mind is powerful. A full wallet can disappear. Markets change, jobs end, businesses fail. If someone tricks you once, awareness teaches you never to fall for the same trick again. If you read carefully, question wisely, and think deeply, you protect yourself in ways money alone never could. Look at people who lost everything in business but built it again. What did they use? Not just money. They used experience. Strengthen your awareness. That is wealth that cannot be taken. Knowledge is your first line of defense. Knowledge is like a shield. When you understand how something works, you are harder to fool. If you know the rules of a contract, you cannot be easily misled. If you understand your rights, you cannot be easily pushed. Are you managing your life, or is someone else managing it for you? If you never ask questions, others will make choices for you. If you never read, others will decide what you agree to. Understanding protects you from regret. They know how debt grows. They avoid traps others fall into. Knowledge is protection. Make learning your habit. Make awareness your daily practice. Stay alert, stay aware, stay in control. Situations will test you. Emotions will cloud your judgment. That is why you must stay alert, stay aware, stay in control. Do not drift through life half asleep. No one will guard your future more than you. If you hand over control because it feels easier, you also hand over your power. So stay alert when someone pushes you. Your life is too important to run on autopilot. Not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes they wear simple uniforms. Sometimes they sit behind desks. Sometimes they are strangers. It is the person who notices something is wrong and refuses to ignore it. It is the worker who takes an extra minute to check details. It is the friend who says, "Are you sure about this?" Integrity is not loud. It is steady. You do not need fame to make a difference. You need awareness and courage. Never think your role is small. The moment you choose to speak up, there is always a moment. A moment when something feels off. A moment when you notice a mistake. A moment when you can either stay silent or speak up. Silence is easy. Speaking up takes courage. But ask yourself, what is the cost of silence? If you see someone about to make a serious mistake and you say nothing, you become part of that mistake. Speaking up does not mean attacking. It means caring enough to question. It means saying, "Let's look at this again." It means slowing things down. Your voice can protect others just like you want your voice to protect you. Use it.